Standby start button. Activate ray shields. What have we got? Canon M50 actually gone mirrorless. Can you believe that? Look at this. Look at this piece of equipment. Lightweight digital SLR. Well, it's not even a digital SLR, it's a mirrorless camera. There's no reflecting mirror. Look, we got this flippy outy screen, yeah, that swivels around and turns back on itself like that. Touch screen. I've actually got an EF lens adapter on there, and which allows you to put on EF lenses. Yeah, there's a EF lens adapter. There's the actual 22mm EF M lens that comes with this is about the size of this adapter. So if I had that lens, which I didn't actually get the lens because I didn't have enough to get both, so I thought best to get the adapter. But it would be, the camera would be that size. I've got the EOS 1018, which I've been trying it out. Fits on like that. You can put EF lenses and EFS lenses on, but this is the 10-18 Canon 10-18. I love this lens. 10-18mm, but in full frame that works out about 24, I think it is 24 to 35 or something like that. Something like that. Is that right? 10? No, it works out about 16 to 20 something. But it's very wide, and I've been trying it out. The main reason I got this mirrorless camera, I wanted a 6D Mark II, to be honest, but for the last 4 weeks I've had a trapped nerve in my back, which is a reoccurring problem, which has come about as a result of humping around big heavy DSLRs, 5Ds and 7Ds, and even bigger than that, you know, big video cams that you carry on your shoulder. And I've been carrying them for years and doing all this video work for years, and you know, you fling it on your shoulder and you're carrying it around for hours and you don't think nothing of it, and then the next day lower back pain, man, oh my god. So every year this thing flares up, something happens, I lift something up and this last one has been terrible. So anyway, haven't been able to go out and do no street photography with my 5D, so I thought, you know, it's time for me to get into this little mirrorless thing. This weighs about half the weight of the 5D body. This whole setup here, about half the weight, probably less than that. It is so light that when I put it into my side bag, I forget that it's there. So I can carry this around all day, whip it out, and it's wonderful. Been trying it out on the street. I have used it with a 24mm and I've used it with this, and so far, oh my god, it's been amazing. Getting used to a mirrorless, there's a transition. It takes a while. You know, you can't see anything through the viewfinder unless it's switched on. So that's one thing. So you switch the viewfinder on, and all of a sudden you got all the, you know, what do you call it, all the details around the viewfinder, all the details that you normally get on the back of a DSLR, they're actually in the EVF, you know, right in the eyepiece. They're actually in there. So everything is there right in front of you. It's just amazing. You know, getting used to that is a learning curve, but this touchscreen thing is so great. You can scroll with your thumb on the screen and place where the focus goes. It is just so great. And I don't know if you heard the shutter just then. It is quite not what compared to an SLR. It's quite silent. Look at that. Listen to that. Listen to that. Listen. beautiful. It does take some getting used to. I've set it so that when I take a picture, the picture doesn't appear on the back of the screen because that blacks out the eyepiece. Because it isn't an optical viewfinder, it's an electronic viewfinder. So you can't have a picture being displayed and the viewfinder active at the same time. So I've opted to switch it off, which isn't a problem. If I want to see the picture, I'll just press the arrow button, and I'm sure, as you can see, the picture will come up. There you go. Will come up on the back there. So everything is how it is. I mean, it's a Canon. It's a Canon. So I'm used to all the menus and all the system and all the buttons. You know, very similar to all my other Canons. It's cut down, so there is not so many selections. There's no custom button. Like the 5D's got 3 custom buttons, which is just so brilliant because you can set up different settings and different shutter speeds and apertures and ISO and all that kind of stuff and easily get to them. But this camera isn't really for that. This camera here is really for everyday street photography, carrying it around. So the custom three settings was overkill, I guess. So this is my new street photography camera. It does film 4K, which I'm not really interested in 4K, but it's got 4K on here just in case. So I guess I'll be trying it out in the future just to see what it can do. It is what they call this, a shrunk down 80D. So it's an 80D in a very small package without a mirror. And so far, past couple of days, I'm loving it, man. I am absolutely loving this. You know, it's got eye detect, face detect. It's beautiful. The only downside I found about it so far is the battery life. The battery life is terrible on these mirrorless because obviously the electronic viewfinder and everything has to be on all the time. I've set it to eco mode. There's a special mode you can set it to where it will just go off. Everything will go off, as you can see on the back. It goes into eco mode very quickly and just switches off. That saves the battery life a bit. But one battery in this M50 will last a couple of hours, which is, you need it more than that. It's not very good. I've made it last up practically all day, practically couple of hours, maybe 4 hours, let's say, if you don't go mad and be spraying and praying, you're constantly reviewing stuff on the back. But still, that's not really productive to have. You know, you have to carry around 2-3 batteries just to get 1 day's worth of work. But hey, you know, such is life. My back loves this camera. I can carry it all around all day. I can get the shots I need to get, and I'm enjoying it. It's a lovely little thing. I think it's the way forward. I'm going to see if I can get the EOS M lens so that I don't have to carry around this great stonking thing. Although this lens weighs practically nothing. This is one of the lightest lenses, Canon lenses. But when I get the M lens, it comes out about 22mm. I'm going to get a 22mm for street photography. It's going to be out here. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. One of the problems with having this lens on, I discovered, obviously, when you go to use flash, it casts a shadow. This lens barrel sticking out so long, it casts a shadow, so you can't really use the flash, the pop-up flash. With this lens, you've got to stick a normal flash on the top. And obviously, being a Canon, everything just works perfectly. You stick your big Canon on, everything just works perfectly. And I know a lot of people have switched from Canon, or they've gone to get a mirrorless from Sony or some other brand, and they've still got their Canon DSLR. This way, everything just syncs up together. Not that I'll be using it to shoot events. I don't think I'll be using it to shoot events. I'm just going to keep this for street photography. And so far, 4 days in, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It's brilliant. Canon M50. The 21st century has arrived. Oh yeah.